taking the Rider's Edge course, aside from just trying to get my license, to learn to be a better rider, safer rider, to learn how to get out of obstacles that are going to become a challenge as a rider.
The reason I'm taking the Rider's Edge course is because I had a bike years ago that I enjoyed riding, but I haven't ridden for 20 years. So in order to get back into motorcycling again, I felt it was wise to take the course and relearn, how to ride properly and to learn about the new things with motorcycles and some of the new tips and tricks and best practices from the experienced riders.
I decided to take the Rider's Edge course because it looked like it was a ton of fun. I heard really great things about the instructors, and being around Harley-Davidsons all day and motorcycles and the people who ride them just made me really want to be a part of that family and take the course and get out on the road and do something I hadn't done before.
Ride a motorcycle was actually on my bucket list. I actually turned 50 a week ago, and so being true to my word, I signed up for the Rider's Edge class, and the rest is history.
Rider's Edge is really using the Motorcycle Safety Foundation's curriculum for a beginner rider course, and it has classroom and there's range activity as well. The classroom is really geared more towards teaching people mental awareness, mental strategies, street strategies, whereas the range sessions, which for our program are held on Saturdays and Sundays, usually full days, they cover basic riding skills, and then the second day we talk about how those basic riding skills apply to street riding.
The one thing I'd really like to learn here is to get better at turns. Obviously turning a motorcycle is very different than anything else you turn, and it takes a lot of effort and mental acuity to drive through a turn, both left and right turns. And so it's a complicated process, and it takes learning and it takes practice, and that's what you get in the Rider's Edge course.
They do a really great job teaching you how to ride a motorcycle from the books to actually getting on the motorcycle. The first thing that really helped was they took you through the steps mentally. They showed you them in pictures, they made you read the steps, they made you get on the motorcycle while it's shut off and go through the gears and the shifting so you could get the movements down.
One of the things that was most nervous to me is I've never ridden a manual car or driven a manual car or anything, so the whole clutch and manual transmission thing was kind of a big concern for me coming in. And the first thing they do is kind of teach you how to work that clutch and how to work that friction zone. And before you do anything else, it was really beneficial to then go from there and just do very simple, just ride in the friction zone, using a little bit of throttle to the point where you're actually able to start going at decent speed.
They make a very friendly environment, and so it's a very comfortable learning environment, and so I don't have a fear of the audience that's around me, or that I could really screw up bad.
And we got to know our classmates, which really helped because that made it fun when you saw your friend do something that they accomplished. You were like cheering for them along the side or something like that. So it made it fun, like having a class dynamic was a great part of it.
The instructors, Kim and Steve, they were very open, weren't afraid to point out your mistakes. They really were helpful in different ways than just a classroom setting. They were hands-on, right there, one-on-one, and that was one thing that was important to me, is having that one-on-one interaction and not so much instructors in groups, but an instructor to each student, and they were very helpful to every person individually.
The first thing that I would have to say that I've learned after doing this for over 10 years is that you never know what somebody's ability is going to be. You can't tell by looking at somebody, you can't tell by listening to their stories in the class what their actual ability is going to be. And the second big lesson that I have is you never know why people are taking the class. And being able to help people reach their goals has been probably one of the more powerful things that I've experienced in my life. But I've seen people with absolutely no experience become almost seasoned rider looking by the end of 2 days, which blows my mind. And I've seen people who come in with years and years of experience who leave after 2 days fairly humbled at what they didn't know and the things that they've been able to pick up after 2 days.
I would definitely recommend Rider's Edge because it's so much fun, and it's just another thing that you can cross off your bucket list. And once you do that, you become part of a family that you never thought or you could have been part of. And as soon as you get your motorcycle license, people start talking about motorcycles. And once you get your motorcycle, people ask you what you've done to it or where you got it or why you like it. And people ask you to go riding with them, and we went riding to Lake Geneva the other day, and it just opens up so many more options, and it's just a whole different part of life that's so much fun.